and welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener. Your host, Ken Lane, talking every week about the landscapes of northern Arizona, and everything is popping, coming alive. It is so exciting, so beautiful, pleasant to be outdoors. We're spending more and more time on our back patio, which is kind of what we live for. We get this beautiful, entertaining backyard that if it's below 60, 70 degrees, it's just not nice. It's a north face, double story house. You need it to be warm. Well, finally, the last couple of weeks have been so pleasant. The waterfalls cleaned up, starting to get that sound of running water. You got butterflies. The swallowtails are definitely coming in right now. There's that's our state butterfly. Actually, everyone thinks it's a monarch. No, they just migrate through. But the swallowtails, those are our butterflies, and they're even bigger than monarchs with this long tail to them. They just are beautiful. They're like fairies out in the gardens. And so I thought I would go share some of my favorite tips for attracting, keeping, pulling in more butterflies into your yard. And this goes for pretty much all varieties. Swallowtails they get all the fame because they're so big and beautiful, and they float over, and they're always out there early, and they're out there until late in the season. Monarchs get the most accolades, I guess, or the most concern because they ebb and flow, and they migrate so far. But really, we have more painted ladies. It sort of looks like a monarch, only half the size, and more of them. Beautiful orange, black and orange and yellow to it. It's called a painted lady. It's just beautiful. Then there's the moths that come out. These white, beautiful, just white butterflies, really. But they're moths out in the day. They're just beautiful. They're magical. Now, this same advice, so a few plants that will bring out more animation, more electricity from butterflies and hummingbirds. The same kind of flowers go for both. And so, of course, the number one, and it's just starting to bud up real heavily right now, but the number one butterfly attracting plant is butterfly bush. And it's not the only one, it's just the most famous one. So butterfly bush gets up easily head height, even taller, some of the big varieties. This is a big shrub. I mean, you could use it as a screen even. So you could block out your neighbors if you wanted with the big varieties like the Dark Knight. It's a big purple type of a big long pinnacles to it. And so not a lot of fragrance, but the butterflies sure think it tastes good. And so it's just going to bring them in. It's like magic. There's several other varieties, some that are smaller. So there's Buzz, the whole Buzz here, Buzz Buddleia, Buzz Butterfly Bush. They only get knee high. Then there's a whole other series that gets about hip high. So you pick the variety. They all have the same kind of flower, and they're all very attractive to butterflies and to you. That's number one. You can grow the dwarf varieties in a container, a raised bed. The bigger varieties, they kind of are so big. The root structure is so large that you really need them in the ground. They should be out there on their own, growing up. You can collect the colors. So butterfly bush, you're sort of like roses. You're collecting the flower colors, and there's pink and white and purples and blues, some yellows. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I'm sure there's some others I'm just forgetting about. I'm going from top of mind. And all of them are available at the garden center. All of them they need to go in now. This is the time to plant them. The number one seller, that's the number one thought of. So butterfly bush for butterflies. Okay, got it. But the number one seller by far at the garden center is Salvia greggii, or autumn sage. This is a cute little shrub. Gets up about knee high, kind of ball shaped. It's just cute. It's doesn't get overgrown, and it's just so bright. It blooms early. It blooms often. It blooms a long time. And so autumn sage, or Salvia greggii, that's the Latin name. It comes in several colors again. So red's the most famous. So everyone goes, I need red or I won't get hummingbirds. No, they don't care. They like all colors. They'll go after the purple one just like they will the white one, just like they will the pink one, just like they will the red one. They love them all. because they've got hundreds. Literally, this shrub will have hundreds of tubular shaped flowers that just pulls them in. It tastes good to the hummingbirds and the butterflies. And it just is pretty. So it blooms a long time. It goes in containers in the ground, wherever you want it, in full sun, in more shade. It's just a consistent bloomer. It does really well here. I would say that's the number one seller. And another benefit for both of these, the animals don't seem to like them. So deer, javelina, rabbits, they leave them alone, but it pulls in the butterflies and the hummingbirds. I mean, come on. I need more plants like that. And so we're covered. Those are the ones we're going for. The number one, the most native-y one, the one that just grows wild out to, you're walking in the constellation, you're walking out, the different trails, you're going to see this wildflower about knee-high, stands up on long vines, not a vine, but like a long stem with literally dozens of flowers coming off the stem. It can be red, pink, white. There's several of them. But penstemon is hummingbirds love it. So again, it's got a big tubular shaped flower. So the flowers on penstemon is larger than the salvia. So it's much, and they're brighter. Now you're getting into opinions. I'm a man. God only gave me 7 crayons. Some of you gals got 64, 124 pack. I've only got 7. So I just kind of like, that's the pink ones, the red ones that seem to be the real winners for hummingbirds. But, I've seen them on the white ones just as much. So they just like the taste of penstemon and the size of the flower and how easy it is to access. In fact, this is one that the male hummingbirds are the ones that are real productive. They hover over and go, nope, this is my flower. Like the ladies are allowed, but all you guys get out of here. I'm going to they bicker back and forth, go mine, mine, mine. If they were bigger, they'd be like seagulls or something. Mine, mine. So, but they're fun to watch as they're going after their territory, their plant. But penstemon's a true native. I mean, you get it started. You can count on it every year to come up consistently, bigger and better every year. It's just a great little plant. Another one that's in that same perennial flower is called scabiosa or pincushion flower. Now for butterflies, pincushion. This is a purple flower about the size of a quarter. Gets up. Now the foliage is only ankle high, if that. It's very low. But the flowers hover at least a foot above the foliage. So it's really stunning. The big flowers look like they're pincushions. They just float like there'll be a dozen flowers that look like pincushions hovering almost like a spaceship above the foliage. It's really pretty. Generally, they come in blue or whitish colors. There's not as many color choices, but it takes the sun, it takes the wind. You folks that are up on the ridge lines, down in those valleys where that wind, you poor folks in Dewey, it just kind of funnels through that valley and comes right through there. Well, scabiosa or pincushion flower, it loves that. It's fine. And butterflies cannot resist it. You'll see them flying across the yard and they'll see this pincushion flower go, whoa, I think I'll just rest right there. And they'll literally just land, sit there and just dine on the nectar from this flower. They just love it. You guaranteed flowers, guaranteed in the sun, guaranteed butterfly. It's guaranteed for here. I've had pretty good luck with javelina deer leaving it alone. Sometimes when they're desperate, they come in and eat the flowers. They leave the foliage alone, but they can eat the flowers. Kind of frustrating, but that's rare. Mostly they leave it alone. Probably the number one that is animal resistive, that's just bulletproof. I mean, you can't kill these. Animals are going to leave them alone, yet they're fluorescent, bright colors. Zinnias. It's an annual flower, but it can come back by seed, but an annual technically will not come back from its same root. So it can reseed and come back that way, but it's a true annual. So it would be more cost effective. So annuals cost less at a garden center. But zinnias, they come in bright pink, bright red, bright orange, bright colors. Animals don't like them, and hummingbirds think they've died and gone to heaven. You can attract more wildlife that is pretty fun, active, butterflies, hummingbirds, and with just a few key flowers. Come in and ask us. We can help you with that. We've got Lisa Waters coming in with your garden questions right after this.